crashing game night. The shenanigans are already started, as we should all expect when Tony and Ariel are on the show.
Of course.
They just bring out a certain thing in the show. Come on now.
I mean, they're like kind of like
certain
the
attitude.
unofficial,
Damn New Yorkers.
6th and 7th members. Hey,
We're troublemakers. Let's call
We
us
are.
what we are. We're troublemakers.
We're
Anyways.
both New Yorkers. What do you expect?
right? Anyways, my name is Matt Dury, your host as always. We got the Beanie One, Gerard Barrera.
How's it going, all you nerds out there? What's going on?
Babyface One, Theowalski.
What's up, y'all?
And the man that is still shopping for the couch. So Tony and Ariel, I'm definitely sorry he doesn't have a couch for you guys to sit on. He's been slacking for a little
Just
while
be
now.
happy it's not like a
Actually,
bed bug
not
infested
gonna
house.
No,
Couch.
it's not big, but
But the maitre d' services, the man, the myth, the legend, the Lions mane, Jason Belidio.
how's it going, guys? How's it going? Thank you guys again for joining us, in this hopefully warm room that you guys are in. You guys are invited
It is
into.
very balmy actually here.
Like you guys, there's plenty of I see everybody's in like little thicker shirts and thicker sweaters. Me and Jerry, just I don't know, man. I'm about to put on a sweater myself. yeah, me too. I might put on.
I can see that bead of
just for,
sweat
maybe
coming off your
one more
forehead,
layer,
dude. Like
one more thin layer. Yeah.
I
So I
actually
gotta
had to turn the heater off, surprisingly.
So I gotta say, it's kind
The
of
one that's
funny
only like
is
3 feet away.
Yeah, right?
Tony and I were on the same wavelength. He wore his N7 hat. I wore the N7
Let's
shirt
go.
just for.
Yeah, I wore this just for you. I'm like, like Matt's
We-
gonna love this.
We are the Mass Effect boys on this,
Love it.
So-
love
Team
it.
Garrus all the way.
Oof.
Yep. Jim Garris.
Garrus and Liara. That was my crew. But it was kind of funny. Is like I got my gift from my boys on Sunday, got them set up. First person I sent a picture to of what I got was Tony.
Yeah.
Nice.
hey, look at the setup, So it's going to be a quite entertaining show because it's not like there wasn't anything in gaming that happened the last couple of days.
Boring,
Not
man.
at all.
Nothing's been happening.
But,
Nothing.
But first, I need to do 2 kind of announcements really quick. One, I need to give a shout out to my boy, my childhood best friend, Jake Lopez. Whoever follows me on Facebook will see his posts and stuff. But he got diagnosed with cancer on Friday, and he has surgery this in a couple of days. They're going in after it. So fuck cancer, and I hope they get
Fuck
it all.
cancer.
So, Boyle, I love you. You fam. And then honestly, for those that have, followed me on Facebook, Theo, I told you about it. Jerry, I told you about it already, but I did get the results of my echo back, and I unfortunately have to go get the really big echo and get it scheduled in the next couple of weeks. I've been, I've talked about it in the past. I was born with a valve issue, and my mitral valve. It's been weakening, so there's been enough of a change in my valve since July that I have to now go in and get the big one, so I can go and actually see how weak it really is and what it's actually impacting insides. And after that, will be the next conversation will be heart surgery to have it replaced. So yeah, so tonight is very, very much needed. I think this was all just nice timing to have our favorite 2 people on to talk about the Xbox shenanigans.
It
And
doesn't
then
sound
of
like
course,
Xbox has done
Wait,
anything really
thought-
great lately.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
I thought we were here
Anything
to talk
crazy
about.
of merit?
Yeah, I thought we were here to talk
Yeah,
about
no,
Blue
no.
Point. What's this Xbox
well,
stuff?
so
I thought we were
That
gonna
too.
talk about the Wii.
Very
Damn
subtle,
it.
Tony.
Alright.
Very
I
subtle.
mean, so that's
Everybody
the
forgot
thing.
about Blue
What's
Point.
funny is that was the one big thing. It's like everybody, the news broke that PlayStation was closing Blue Point,
R.I.P.
which
Yeah.
I think
And
sucks
that had me
because,
so pissed off. I'm sorry.
like, oh yeah, I mean, it pissed off a lot of people because their bread and butter was remastering and remaking these old PS2 era games and bringing them, and PS3 era games, bringing them to life on the PS5 and PS4 for new generations.
But they were successful.
That's
You
the
know,
other thing.
they
That's the
did-
weird thing. They were success. They have a successful run of doing that, and
and to
it's
highlight things, they did Shadow of Colossus.
Mhm.
They did
great. By the
they
way,
did
yeah,
the Nathan Drake trilogy.
yeah.
And then this is why Ariel's so pissed off about it, is because they did Demon Souls.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going? What's wrong with? Why can't the company just admit, like, hey, we have talented people here? Maybe not close the company that made us millions of dollars. Just a thought.
Because it was
because all those millions can go to AI and do the same thing.
Oh
Well,
man.
it was
They
live
can't do
service.
the same thing though. That's the thing.
I know,
They
they
will
can't do
never
the
have
same
the humanity touch to them. Never.
No, and I think the bigger thing is that a lot of this goes to Jim Ryan's failed
Yeah.
games live services push that he was doing, because
Ugh.
Bluepoint was given the God of War live service game,
Mm.
and they canceled it. And then, of course, PlayStation's like, let's close them down. Like, it's
So
the same-
in
It's all because they didn't want to make.
that's
so
also
much money.
well. That's
Okay.
what I would like to know from the both of you. What how do both of you feel the trajectory of games in general are going since,
Well-
or where do you think they're going to be going since AI is going to be such a predominant either
mean-
tool or another developer entity? Like, are they going to start shelling out games? Or are they going to be used for a tool, as in like more in depth and like more alive NPCs? You know, what do you guys think? Where do you think the kind of the trajectory is going?
Jared, let me ask you a question. Do you want pissed off answer number one or equally more pissed off answer number two first?
Both.
Or do we
Let's
wanna
go in
wait-
order.
or
Let's go.
first,
Yeah, first.
Go number
Real
one.
quick.
Let's
Yeah.
scale it up.
Do we-
Let's scale it up.
Or
Yeah.
do we address the elephant in the room that is Xbox and then go into the AI conversation? Because
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
we're
they're
gonna hit
all.
that one
I think
first,
it's
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's all
Yeah,
tied
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the other news, because this is all going to tie into your question,
Mhm.
hands down, this will tie into it, because Tony and I have been. I think we're on the same page as what we think is going to happen. So
Yeah, we didn't
On-
jump the gun,
on
Jerry.
Friday,
Jesus.
Oh my
on
God.
Friday, it was announced all of a sudden that Phil Spencer is retiring. Based on whatever article you see out there, it was either
Retiring
A,
or pushed
this
out?
has been months in the works, or B, Satchit basically told him, you either quit or be fired.
They pushed out.
So pushed out. Then in the same breath, in a little tiny little release, it was announced that Sarah Bond, who all of us in the gaming industry kind of looked at her as being kind of groomed to be the replacement for Phil, announces her resignation out of the blue with no memo and also as no memo went out to anybody within Xbox to say, hey, by the way, Phil and Sarah are leaving. And then
always
it
fun.
was also announced that Asha Sharma, this is where it ties in, Jerry, who is
Tying it all
who is the
together.
head of Core AI at Microsoft, is going to be taking over the Xbox division. And then Matt Booty is being promoted up to executive VP in charge of content for Xbox. Now,
Who's in charge?
a lot of people are kind of going at it that, Asha has no gaming experience, but let's be honest, neither did Reggie. Reggie was a gamer, but he had no real gaming business experience when he joined Nintendo.
By the way, neither did Sean Layden, neither did Jack
Yeah.
Trenton, neither did like so many guys that like
Correct.
Peter Moore, Tom Kalinske, who brought Sega back from the brink.
Yep.
That's not a qualifier. But I will say this, right? I actually finish your intro because I got a lot of things I got.
We've got a lot of time, but so
In line,
Now-
Tony. Ariel's first.
Right? Ariel's got her answers first.
Oh, God,
So-
I'm so sorry in
Now,
advance.
since all this broke on Friday, more shit's been coming out, especially nobody knowing about it. Now coming out, like somebody accused Asha of basically using AI to write all of her posts. And she
I mean,
responded,
it is her job.
Hear you.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you
and
remember
she's
that
like,
tweet? That
oh yeah.
hear you just
And
took
that's
those
the
two
thing is
words.
everybody
Hear
said,
you.
"Hey, we need to get back to you need to get back to exclusives for Xbox consoles."
Hear you.
Period. Um, and she's like, "Hear you." It was just two words. That's it. Nothing else. Um, then there was a report
Oh
that came
wow.
out from Tom Warren today, or was it today or yesterday, that talked about really it was more Sarah getting, there's reports now Sarah getting pushed out because she was hard to work with. She was building a mere the highway type
Bless
business
you.
Bless you.
structure. He was the
Bless
one
you
that was
again.
That's you.
really
Thank you.
driving the
Oh
whole
my goodness.
everything is an Xbox messaging and pushing
Mhm.
away from consoles. Um, I kind of think, and this is where I think we'll get into the AI thing, is I think it is we know Microsoft is going all in on AI. Before that, they went all in on cloud. What happened when they went all in on cloud? All of a sudden, you had
Burn.
Xbox cloud gaming becoming a thing. Now you put the head of core AI in place over Xbox, which is the only division within Microsoft that is not doing AI.
Eh,
And I think Sarah partially probably was told, hey, guess what? You're not getting the job. And she said, screw you, I'm out.
Mm.
But so that's the skinny of it. Ariel.
Oh God. That's the setup that you give me.
As we circle back to Jerry's question,
Everybody's like, yo,
with
throw that
all this
softball,
context.
just,
right down
Jerry,
my
just,
point.
just give me the TLDR really quickly.
yeah, what was your question again?
Actually,
Oh,
do you want to
Yeah.
answer that question? Because your question's kind of evergreen. I think we should
Yeah.
stick on the Xbox thing for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
There's
just
a
for
lot
a
to
moment,
talk
and
about
then we'll go
Yeah,
over it. But I want to,
it'll
Jerry, I want to know
as
specifically.
gaming as a whole, we'll get back to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to touch on some of the things you said, Matt, because this is my personal theory. I could be wrong. I have no insider knowledge, obviously, but this is what I think happened, right? As you said, Microsoft has been going very hard on AI the past 2.5 years, right?
Yep.
So what I think happened is Satya Nadella was like, hey, Phil, you need to have AI in Xbox. I don't care how you get AI in Xbox, get AI in Xbox. Phil was like, no, I don't want to do that. It's like, okay, got two options. We could fire you and you don't get your severance pay, or you quote unquote retire.
Retire and you get all the benefits that would have
And you
been
get all the
afforded to
benefits.
you.
So
Yep.
Phil, being a smart man, was like, okay, I'll do that. Right. And then Nadella's like, okay, I'm gonna bring in homegirl here from who was the head of AI, bring her over. Sarah's like, wait, I thought I was gonna get that position. Right. And she's like, okay, I'm out. And here's the interesting thing. This was actually supposed to be officially announced yesterday on Monday, but IGN leaked the story, right?
Yep.
So and then what happened after that? We had a weekend of these weird tweets that I believe weren't even from Asha.
Asha. Yeah.
I think it was just a handle, not a handle, like basically somebody was a handler. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
A handler
Her PR team.
was responding to
Answering
all
the
these
questions. Yeah.
responding to people she probably shouldn't be responding to, including your friend Ariel Smash JT. Like, why are you responding to this guy? You know?
She should literally this is the one time. Just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So but they were like,
Oh, wow.
I'm a gamer. Like, I have this gamer score. Here's my gamer tag. People dug into the gamer tag.
Oh,
It's like,
God.
hey,
She had to come clean on it.
yeah, like these achievements don't look right. Like, there's something off here, and all this weird stuff. And then yesterday, she puts out a tweet. I'm reading the tweet. I'm like, holy shit, this is actually from a real person. Like, she was actually honest. And the thing she said in that tweet, I'm like, why didn't you just say this from the beginning? You know what she said? She goes, hey, I'm new to gaming, but I'm here to learn. And I started this account to build up my knowledge. I'm like, why didn't you just say
And then-
that? That would have been way better
I
received.
made it
And then it
worse,
was
yeah.
and then it was my entire family that was gaming on this tag. So that's been
Which is
corrected
fine.
now. Everybody's gaming
Which
on
is
their own gamer
fine.
tags, which is fine.
Yeah. No, again, that's fine. But
Yeah.
you should have said that initially instead of making people making people think that you're an actual gamer.
Yeah.
Just say, listen, I'm not that monopoly gamer. I dabble in games. My kids play games. I'm here to learn. People would have been like, cool, that's fine. No problem. But that's not my issue with her. My issue is the AI bit. Like, bro, right now, I am not kidding. They got Twitter open right now. There's a post from Red Dragon. I know he's a little bit of a fanboy, but it's a clip of Homegirl saying how she wants every application to be an AI app. I'm like, you don't think that's going to happen? It's going to happen, people.
I think that's the point. And I think that's where I think the real story is, even though they're saying, well, we're going to focus on Xbox and get it back to its core, all the good PR things to say, you know. I think that's for those that kind of been watching the industry as a whole, like not just gaming, but like IT industry as a whole, right? Everybody is going, AI is the buzzword. Let's dump everything into it. Case in point, we've talked about it for weeks. Graphics cards, memory, RAM, like all of it going over to AI data centers. So, of course, Microsoft's going to want the one piece of the business that is not using AI like they want them to. They're going to want to use it. Even though she says we're not going to peddle AI slop. I'm like, AI slop, that's kind of very subjective.
Very interesting that she used that phrase. She goes, we're not going to use AI slop. When 2 weeks ago, Satya Nadella was telling people not to use that phrase. So now we have a Microsoft employee using that phrase that her boss told her not to use. Huh? And notice what she said. She didn't say we're not going to use AI. She said we're not going to use bad AI. So they're going to use
means
AI.
they're going to validate the AI.
They're still going to utilize it. Just they're going to sweep it right under the rug.
The good AI. Yes.
Good
at the very
AI,
least, claim that it's not AI.
The only kind of AI that should be in existence right now is to enhance medical technology, not for gaming.
Yeah, but even that's getting people killed.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even being utilized in the correct way in order to help people. It's wishful thinking at this point.
Yeah, it's insane. Like the whole AI thing is I was going to skip ahead to answer your question, Gerard, but we'll get to it because the whole thing is a scam to me. It's like I don't know how many of you guys use AI. I kind of have to just because of work. I test shit out. When it's right, it's right, and when it's wrong, it is spectacularly
But yeah,
wrong.
we tested this on my podcast. I remember we specifically went out and tested this live for people to see.
Yep.
Yeah, like I'll give you a quick example. Before State of Play, right? I was doing some live, like I had to do like live blog updates. So I asked AI, "Hey, what are the 7 biggest rumored things happening right now?" And it got all of those correct, right? And then after the fact, I'm like, "Hey, which rumors did it get correct?" It got half of them wrong. It said like PSSR 2 confirmed. No, it wasn't. Starfield 2 confirmed for PS5. No, it wasn't. And then what does it come back with? And AI always does this. Oh, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. It's like that's not good enough.
Weird.
What if it was heart surgery or something, bro?
Yeah.
Shit.
Anyway,
They better not be using AI when it comes time for me.
they have. That's the problem, bro. Yeah. You better pray to whatever God you believe in. They're not using that shit. Right. I'm being serious right now. I'm trying to bring things down, but you've seen the stories, because these doctors are now depending on AI where they're like misdiagnosing shit because the AI didn't catch the cancer or whatever, because these things make you actively dumb because you're relying on it and you stop using your brain. There's studies out there of kids losing all like cognizance and shit because they're depending on this stuff.
Yep.
It makes you actively dumb. And bro, I could go on a rant about motherfucking AI. There's studies where it makes normal people psychotic. Like people who normally wouldn't have like psychosis and shit, they start talking to it, think it's real, and then they go crazy.
Well, there was that one story where somebody who was thinking about hurting themselves talking to a chat GPT, and it basically said, you don't need to listen to your real world friends. You need to listen to me and you'd be better off. And
it was giving them active instructions.
Yeah.
I think there was even a case when it was like saying, like it phrased it as like, oh, you can be with me if you do this type of deal, which involved ending himself. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're,
it was like truly like the movie Her, pretty much.
I really think so. to the AI question, I want to hear Ariel's point A and point B, the angry and the
AI
angrier.
and gaming. Yeah,
I think
AI
I've
and
come to the
gaming.
conclusion I want to hear point number 2 first. That's where I'm at.
Go for it.
Oh man. Okay, so just reiterate, please, will you? Jar, just for clarity purposes, just so I can formulate my answer better,
Just
because all that's in my head right now is just like angry puppy.
not a problem.
Let the
So
puppy out.
just wanted your opinion, or where you're kind of gauging where the industry is going with AI, or as in like the smaller Microsoft perspective, or gaming as a whole. Where do you think the trajectory is going to go in the future, and how we're going to use AI, or if it's going to be a predominant tool or something else, another entity that's like maybe shelling out and just pumping
Like the NFTs
half
and
shelled out
everything.
games like a factory. What do you guys think?
So, okay, it's interesting because I've been gaming for 20 plus on off years, and I've never seen a need for AI at all in gaming whatsoever. Like from the time Resident Evil 1 remake came out to now, where we have, releases of different games like Ghost of Yotei and like remakes of Resident Evil 2. So all of those games you don't need AI for. You don't need it to be able to have a game successful. Perfect example is League of Legends. There were, I think it was not Sweeney, but like it was a type of art that was called like the placeholder art. And I remember what happened with Expedition 33. They had a placeholder that was in the game, and
That's
they
right.
got disqualified from the Indie Game Awards,
Yeah.
rightfully so, because they kept it in there far longer than they should have, and then they backpedaled and they were like, okay, well, we'll take it out now that you guys noticed it. So it's one of those things of where like you can being utilized even as a placeholder. I feel like you shouldn't have to use, because we had the different art methods that were utilized back in League of Legends days, and those were crappy little pieces of like pick art on the computer, and but that was
Right.
the charm of it, and that was the use of it all. So I feel like no AI is not going to be helpful at all. It's just going to harm what the creativity level is and what the sustainability of gaming will become. Right now, it's even hindering the fact of where collectors can't even get a proper disc without, booting it or like bootlegging it rather, or anything like that. Like I'm not even seeing discs being sold in my local Best Buy anymore for games. So it's one of those things too of where like the demand for cloud, the demand for AI has gotten too much to the point of where people are more so relying on it rather than understanding that gaming is not AI. They don't
Nope.
coexist together whatsoever. In the future of it, it kind of whenever people are just like, well, what's the future of AI in gaming? There is none. It's like NFTs. It's going to go away. We saw how NFTs were really popular at one point and it disappeared, thankfully.
Yeah.
And now
Thank God.
we are seeing
Which
kind
Tony
of
called that.
Yeah.
Just wanna
Yeah,
say,
exactly.
Tony
Yeah,
called
that's
that.
right.
Yeah. He called it. And he called it like 2 years ago. He was like, I hope it's a fad, but it really is going to be a fad that's just going to dissipate over time. And whenever I saw them, being sold for like millions of dollars, and we have what crypto boys like Logan Paul buying them for millions, and now they're only worth 150. It's like, well, you should have listened to your mother. Like, it's one of those weird concepts of where it's like we see all these different fads. This one has more of a grip on people because it's utilizing people's need to not do anything to be self-sufficient. And that's what AI does. It takes control of that part of the brain.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, you could just do this easily. And I think this is my 90s baby coming out. But it's like when I was a kid, you had like notepads that you had to write your homework on. You had all this kind of stuff.
Oh.
You have kids who are cheating now with AI,
Yeah.
utilizing
Yeah.
it for their test papers. So it's like, I don't think that AI in gaming is going to help anything. It's only going to make creativity dumbed down because it's more
Correct.
easily accessible.
Well, I think
So
even
I
at
have
that
a
point,
question.
Go
I
ahead,
have a
Theo.
question with your point. Broadly speaking, like I know it's a generalized comment, or at least I'm assuming it's a generalized comment that AI serves zero purpose in gaming. I agree that it's ruining creativity. But what about the opportunities of using it for good in aspects of, let's say, ending the console wars to ever need to increase hardware specs for future gaming, or it by optimizing rendering and so forth? And let's say, for example, AI could benefit on Unreal Engine. We know that Unreal Engine is insane with what's been done by people. But at the same time, we know that the polygons and everything are absolutely insane and so power hungry that there's opportunity for AI to optimize. So what do you think about the good uses rather than the lazy uses of AI in gaming?
So there are two different types of AI. There's generative AI, and
Generative,
then
yep.
there's AI that is utilized specifically for developing games. Whenever, like in a playthrough, for example, I did of Resident Evil 5, where you have Sheva's AI and it's bugging out consistently, of where it's like you can't get an accurate placement of where she's going to go in like in coordination with Chris Redfield. So that's a use of AI of where I actually support it, of where like AI should be in the conversation of where you have oh, what was the term? It's another term that I wanted to use instead of using AI. It's part of the development tool that's utilized with it, but AI is still a part of it to be able to build it. So yeah, there's definitely good uses for it of where you can make character movements a lot smoother. The way the polygons work, the way that just the fixations of certain objects in the world and how it's placed in perspective and everything, it's
Mhm.
useful for that. But there's a complete difference between generative AI and
Oh yeah, because
developmental
generative
AI.
AI
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
lazy AI for sure.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it's just telling you, it's
So
like,
I
I
just
want
want to
this,
clarify
I'm
that
do
glad
for
it
I'm
for
glad
people.
you
me.
brought that up because I was like chomping at the bit, like they're not the same.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I actually I tweeted about this the other day, and of course I had the AI bros come at me. I really hate that these companies are purposely using the term AI, artificial intelligence, for large language
Broadly.
models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Large language models don't think, they predict. That's all it is. There's the big difference between a large language model predicting words or whatever than, like, Sheva in Resident Evil 5,
Mhm.
where it's programmed to do specific things. They are way different. But the thing is, most people don't know that, so they conflate the two. Or they think, oh, it's AI. So it's smart, right? Like the robots, right? Like in Terminator, right? But the companies want you to think that. I know Sam Altman wants you to think that. This idiot's talking about agentic AI, which is like, like human level AI. The
Mhm.
large language models are not capable of thinking. There will never be like agentic. They will never be agentic like he thinks.
There's too much for it to
Yes.
learn.
Because basically, and this is built into it. It will quote unquote hallucinate 10 to 45% of the time.
Right.
And that's not something you could fix. It's baked in. You could lower it to 90%. But again, if you're going to surgery, you want a 90% success rate? No, I want it higher than that, buddy.
I want 100%.
And my thing is, you're a fucking computer. If I go to my calculator right now, what is 10 times 10? I don't want it to guess. I want the
99.
I want the right answer. So it frustrates me that companies are using this term incorrectly, right?
Mhm.
And to get to the question about AI, I know people want to hear us talk about Xbox, but this is important.
I think it's part of the
Um,
conversation, though, Tony,
Yeah.
it
given
is. It is. Basically, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. A couple of weeks ago, and you guys can correct me on this. Somebody put out some model, I believe it was Google, of like an LLM. I'm going to purposely use that term from now on. I don't want to call it AI. Somebody used an LLM to create a video game, right? And a bunch of investors who we all know are very smart, learned people took all their money out of a bunch of gaming companies like Rockstar and all that because they thought,
Mm.
oh, this is the future. And I'm like, do you realize what this LLM's doing? It's just taking other existing games and copying them, right? This thing doesn't do what you want. It doesn't do what you think it does. So this is why I'm not worried about, like, these things taking over gaming, because they are not at the point where they could actually build something sustainable. Yes, you could use them to create concept art or whatever, but for the actual in-game stuff, if you've seen actual quote unquote AI games, they're trash. They're unplayable.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. The problem is the higher ups, they think it's capable of that shit. So then they fire everybody, because they think we only need 5 people to make this game. And then what happens a month later, they got to rehire everybody because the stupid LM can't do what you want it to do.
Tony, it was Nexon.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that they were using generative AI in Arc Raiders and that was part of it a couple weeks ago.
I didn't even realize Nexon owned Arc Raiders.
That is
it. No, for freaking Maple Story.
Yeah. No, but the thing that's referencing, somebody released an LLM model that quote unquote creates video games. And basically they created a game, quote unquote game on the spot. You're able to play it. And all these investors took their money out of these big companies. Because they thought, oh, this is it. This is the next Unreal or something. No, it doesn't do it.
You always got to get on the ground floor to make money.
And here's the thing. Unlike with NFTs, I don't think this is going to go away. I think it's going to die down, but it's not going to go away, unfortunately.
I don't think it's going to go away either.
Because
NFTs just didn't make sense.
They didn't make
period.
sense.
Yeah. You couldn't explain it.
Yeah, you can see the utility in this. Yeah. If it work, okay. If it ever gets to a point where it works the way you think it should, there's usefulness to it. Like, for example, I like the fact that I can now go on Google and instead of just writing a bunch of SEO terms, I could just ask a question. That's kind of more natural for people. That's cool, right? I want to make it clear.
Granted, that's been a thing before AI too.
Yeah, but if you were to ask a plain question, you would get a bunch of gobbledygook. Although I would probably prefer that, but that's a whole other story.
At least it teaches you how to search correctly.
Yeah. Actually, searching is it's like 3 words that don't make any sense, but it makes sense to Google. So anyway, I don't think it's going to.
I mean, we're in the generation where we learned the whole quotations and plus marks and stuff in order to Google correctly.
Yeah.
So nobody knows how to do that anymore.
What were you going to say, Arielle?
So I just looked it up really quickly. This is a term that I was looking for. Instead of AI, it was finite state machines, which are behavior trees and navigation pathfinding in game development, which that's how NPCs are created. Yeah. That's how a lot of different model movements and everything. So that is
those
a
are done by the
type of AI.
Which Rockstar uses that type of AI for like Grand Theft Auto and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Which makes sense because it's utilized as a tool and it makes perfect sense to use them for that kind of area for the game to help really create more of an in-depth world around you, and you can focus more on the main characters and the story and the game.
I mean, even that's still not necessarily used very strongly. I mean, still is like even when I was learning about how to program those things, it's still very limited in the decision tree. The decision tree never necessarily branches off on its own, so it's still finite.
I think we're stuck with AI right now because it is such a buzzword. It's like cloud gaming, right? And cloud is that because you had like Sony, they patented generative podcasts using the characters. They've patented, a character that'll just jump in and help you if you're having a hard time with your game. But I think when you look at kind of getting back to Xbox and its future and what we are talking about is when you look at a company like Microsoft who's going all in on AI across the board, right? You have Copilot being baked into Windows to the point where people are making TikToks to say, this is how you uninstall Copilot out of Windows and never get it to come back.
Microslop.
You've got Copilot being baked into all parts of Office now, like Outlook and Excel, PowerPoint, all of that. And you have it also being baked into Azure now. So they have a thing called Sentinel, which is like an AI that basically is helping to deploy patches and stuff when machines check into the Azure environment and whatnot.
I don't know if you know this, but it's also baked into GitHub.
It is.
Oof. Yeah. But anyway, so when you have
also downloaded a lot of updates to Windows that completely fried people's PCs as well.
Oh yeah, but that's no surprise. That's been like decades of that.
That's just Windows being Windows.
That's just Windows.
Yeah, exactly. But you have Xbox here over on the side, starting to lose money. And it's like, well, you're not using AI. We want you to use AI. So I think for me, the future of Xbox, being that you've got Asha put in charge of the division now, she's coming from Core AI. She was working on some of that stuff with Meta and whatnot to try and get a lot of those applications moved into Messenger, trying to make Messenger like Discord and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I think we're going to be seeing Xbox push further into AI with the next
Which is
console. And I think that's why
Unfortunately.
it's going to be priced higher because you're going to need a better RAM, better CPU, all of that for anything related to AI if you're going to be driving it. Unfortunately.
it just sucks because it's like, first of all, who says that they're going to keep doing Xboxes at this point?
Yeah, I think they're done.
that's the case.
I
They have
don't
one.
think so.
They have
I
one
don't
more
think so.
system. I know that. Even
Yeah.
Sarah Bond brought it up, but after
Yeah.
that, I think they're. Actually, I'll
Do-
tell
do
you guys
they?
now. Yeah.
But will it
yeah,
actually be their
they're
system,
gonna-
or is it going to
Oh,
be
man,
another third
thank
party
you for saying that.
collaboration?
Thank you for saying
Yeah.
that because it might.
Like
I
the
think,
rogue ally. Come
no,
on.
no, it's,
Yep.
it's going to be Asus. I honestly think.
Yep. It'll
This
be Asus
system
again.
because
No,
you know this too, where
Tony,
like,
it's going to be
supposed
Dell.
like a PC. No,
Oh
no,
my
I
God.
Yeah, imagine that. No, but
Oh
it's,
God.
yeah, imagine
No,
that.
it's
you
gonna
need,
be a-
you need a
so-
career in Santa
so
Monica.
you- Tony,
It's going to
you-
be a gate. It's going to be a gateway.
So Tony, you think the next Xbox isn't going to be a standalone Microsoft? It's going to be a collab, kind of like what they did with the handheld.
It could be,
It
but I
will be.
do. But okay.
Oh, yeah,
so
it'll
there's a
It has a
good-
strong
Yeah,
chance
Hell,
to
it'll
be.
be
Like the-
it'll be with
yeah.
Razer because they did their little desk side AI thing. that
Yeah.
they
Well,
had
the
going
reason
on.
I'm
It
going
makes
with
perfect
Asus is
sense
because
because Razer has got full AI as well, which
Yeah.
is why I stopped using their
they went
products.
really AI. It's
Yeah, they
crazy.
did.
Like when I went to CES, it's funny. All the laptop companies downplayed the hell out of AI, but Razer, they were the only ones AI
Mhm.
everywhere. But no,
Yeah,
but
I agree. That's also what I kind of got from the many videos I saw of CES where
Oh yeah.
the predominant awareness of AI is it's good. If you're not using AI in your current, I guess, laptops, you're behind. I guess was the
Oh, yeah.
consensus.
You're
where
behind
it's
if you
gonna
don't
be
know
the-
how to use it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
they're trying to
But
say.
also from a manufacturing point, I guess, like if your computers are like technically behind if they don't have an AI component within their system or in their newer laptops coming out, you're technically behind. So I guess like that consensus is that like AI is gonna
it's
be
been
a
that-
part of every yeah,
been
like
that
you
way
said,
for
part of
years.
everything.
it's been like that for a while now. Like no, but
Yeah.
this year,
But
like
as you said, it's becoming more apparent. Like everyone's talking about it now.
It's just not necessarily talking about it now, because I do follow CES pretty closely, and like
Okay.
even 2 years ago, they were talking about the smart kitchen with AI.
Oh yeah.
Because so I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's an overhead like scanner projection and everything that you can lay out what you have, and it will guide you through cooking your recipe.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
a real thing.
And that was just 2 years ago.
I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, like
So
even
you
before that,
gotta
they've
get
had
a
things.
tutorial
and,
on how to make
it's just
eggs.
ramping
By-
up
by the
as
way,
much as possible.
you could do that with Gemini right now. Bring it up on your phone, take a photo of
Mhm.
your fridge. It'll actually help you out. Like, but here's the thing. This year at CS, like AI was everywhere. But again, the laptop manufacturers actually tamped that language down because they know their customers. Dell said it like our customers don't care about this shit. Even though every laptop has has a chip with an NPU in it that is for
Mhm.
AI, but
Mhm.
it's not ready for prime time yet. But anyway, going back to Xbox, the reports strongly say, and I do believe this, that the next Xbox will be more akin to a PC, or maybe like the Steam machine that's coming out.
Mhm.
I think that makes sense, and I think that will be the last one Microsoft does itself. I think after that they're going to partner with somebody like Asus, like
What have
or-
Jason and I been saying? Is like, stop buying a console, buy a PC.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I mean,
Tony, let me put
just
this
buy
out
a
there.
PS5 or a Steam Deck.
not right now because RAM
Right.
costs too goddamn much.
I still say a Steam Deck
AI.
is a PC.
So
Yeah,
It's true, yeah.
can't buy
Tony,
a Steam
let
Deck
me-
because go ahead.
I want to get your guys' take on this too, right? Is because the other article that came out was an interview with Seamus Blackwell,
Yes,
who used to be the head of Xbox for a while.
Okay.
you know, back in what 2002 ish. He was
He was in
involved
there for a
with,
while, yeah.
yeah, he was there for a while. Anyways, he came out and said, "This smells like Microsoft getting ready to sunset Xbox."
Oh yeah.
I
And
agree.
that Asha's just in there to kind of
Transition.
not necessarily transition, but move it to that sunset phase, and I guess say the right things and get as much money out of it as they can and let it go. I and this is where I got a lot of the fanboys coming after me, from Xbox is like somebody made a post about it and I was like, hey, it's really sad to see, the rise and fall of Xbox
Mm.
because we've been there for it. Like we
Yeah.
saw the rise of it. We've been a part of it. We some of us have, I absolutely love Forza and Halo, but Tony and I, we're rocking the gear. Where did it start?
Xbox.
Xbox,
So glad you're
Same thing
making us
with
all
Ori
feel
and the
old
Blind
right now.
Forest. That's when
Yep.
I started playing Xbox. Was in
And
There you go.
2016. With Ori and with Gears of War.
but I think that with the moves that they're making, right? I think what you're going to end up doing is you're going to push this thing so far into AI, it's going to just everybody's like, see ya, we're done. Your console, I think, is from the language Sarah was saying that it's going to be a premium console experience.
Mhm.
I think you're already pricing a lot of people out of the market.
Yeah.
The people that looked at, the S before they raised it to $400, the same price as a PS5. You know, that if you're saying it's gonna be a premium experience and you have people stuck on an S that's 400 for the base and 450 for the 1 terabyte. That's not even the X, that's the Series S. That's for everybody that knows the running joke on this podcast, that's a speaker box.
Speaker box.
Wait a
Thank you.
second.
know?
A premium experience and
drive-through
they
speaker
can't
box.
even fix their controllers. No,
True.
that's fantastic.
You
Yeah,
know,
because I remember when I played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline Swan Song, the controller would vibrate so manically that I couldn't even hold it. I was getting motion sickness.
Wow.
So it's like it's one of those things and they break so easily. That's why I like PS5 better because the controllers they're more durable than Xboxes are. Like I went through one controller in a year just from overusing it a lot,
Mhm.
and that's not supposed to happen.
Natural wear and tear.
now
Yeah, exactly.
I want to preface this though, as much as I don't want to see the downfall of Xbox because I truly think the industry is at its best when Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox were firing on all cylinders. Like when they were at their peaks,
Oh,
we
yeah.
were eating good. Like the games that were
Yeah.
coming out because you had competition, you know, and even after the whole Matric incident of, hey, this is the Xbox One, you have to check in all the time. You can watch your TV through it, but we're gonna give you an Xbox or a Connect, right?
Mm.
Even after that, once Phil kind of got going, up and running and taking over, you know, you started seeing games coming out, and they were good. They were really good games coming out of Xbox Studios. I just,
There used to be games that came out of
I,
Xbox where you were considering, dang, that's going to be a
yeah,
franchise, or you
know
love that
what?
game. I would consider buying the console for that game.
correct.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Case in point. And I would say ever since one, you really kind of stopped seeing that. Ever Xbox One.
And I think what's going to be hard now is reversing the fact that you're now putting Gears of War, Forza, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Indiana
Halo.
Jones is now coming out. Halo is on the horizon, all going to PlayStation. Now to turn around to your fan base that you just basically gave the middle finger to and said, we're not going to do exclusivities on the Xbox. We're not going to give you a reason to own an Xbox console anymore.
Exactly.
Especially
know,
when this is for Jason,
Is
when they were promoting all the new Xbox and all the new games coming out. Hey, don't worry, we're gonna have exclusives. And they doubled down and they said, no, we're gonna have exclusives. Don't worry, please wait, they're coming. and then we got this.
I just think you're not
Then
going
you
to
get
be able to.
Redfall.
It's going to be a
We got
hard
Redfall.
thing.
And that was
I'm sorry.
that was the downfall.
Don't
Red
recognize
fail.
that game.
Yeah. See,
Red
the
fail.
first one I had.
Would you guys? That's a great example, Jason. Would you guys say that was kind of like the downfall of like you could see that's where the trajectory of Xbox was going?
That's where you could tell things were just not right.
Right? I kind of feel like that was the place marker for them. Like Redfall, like they put all their chips in it. The promotion, if you guys remember, they were promoting the hell out of it. This was going to be their game, and then executed. Oh God, what happened the day?
I just really think it's gonna be hard for Microsoft.
It was so bad, yeah.
To
I
course
had such high
correct.
hopes for that game because I love vampires, and they completely killed it for me.
And that was the other thing.
It looked great
with the trailer and like what they were promoting. Like this looks fun, but I think I remember Matt or Thea when it was either a podcast or I was talking to you guys online about it playing Destiny, where like, well, first of all, wait a minute, because I think we were all like, the trailer looks great. The consensus was like, dude, trailer looks great. It looks like we can do this and this, but it is Xbox. Like, we should wait until we see some gameplay,
like,
wait until we see something.
And I want to get Arielle and Tony's opinion on this, but like, I think it's gonna be hard for them to course correct after saying, we're putting all of our games onto everything, and they're going to start being like day of. In the case of Forza, it's going to be 6 months later by the time we get the PS5 version. Fable was sounding like it's day of, and then you went and raised the price of Game Pass and took away benefits. So where do you guys see like really? I know we all. I mean, I really don't want to see Xbox go down because there's a lot of that community has been faithful for a very long time, right? But where do you guys see Xbox?
And also, just to add, like you said before, Matt, we all feel like the consensus in the gaming industry, it's best when we have all the three big hitters because all of that competition breeds, better games and more creativity. But yeah, what do you guys think?
All right, so I'm just going to say this, and I said this on my podcast too, right? Because that's always the thing people say, like, oh, we need Xbox around because we need competition against Sony. They haven't actually provided competition against Sony since 2013.
Like a decade.
The PlayStation, the PlayStation has pretty much had its own playground, right? Because let's just be honest, Nintendo is doing its own thing, right? Just to prove the point, Sony can have fuck up after fuck up, and it's not going to hurt them. You think this Blue Point's going to hurt them? No, I'm going to give you the biggest one. What was one of the biggest flops? Concord. Concord was a massive flop, right?
Concord, Anthem,
and what happened?
No, Anthem was BioWare. That was that hit hard for
it was a big hit.
That was
Concord, one of the biggest flops in gaming history.
Yeah,
PlayStation shot up last year. You know why? Because if you're buying a new console, that's your only choice. And I'm going to tell you this, right? The sales are going to go up even higher this year because what's a game that's coming out at the end of the year, right? Grand Theft Auto 6. What system are you buying it on? No one's buying that shit on Xbox. Let's just be honest.
Hell no.
PC or PS5.
Well,
and then
Collector's Edition, baby.
Because there's more.
Oh.
So,
and what's Xbox, also coming in
right?
September?
Yeah.
What other talk about exclusivity that would sell a console,
right?
Wolverine.
Yeah. So Xbox, and here's the thing, right? You can say like, what's going to happen to the Xbox brand? What is what was Phil Spencer's official title?
What was it? It was.
I'll tell you if you don't know it.
Wasn't it?
Go for it.
That's CF. I thought it was CEO.
His title was the same title as Asha, CEO of Microsoft Gaming. It wasn't CEO of Xbox. That title was changed 3 years ago.
And that was Sarah Bond who got the official. It was like president of Xbox or something.
She got that. So that's, and even Sarah Bond in her farewell speech, she never said Xbox. She said Microsoft.
Yeah,
Microsoft.
CEO of Microsoft
Oh
Gaming.
wow.
That's been his title for a couple of years now, right? So the Xbox is already being sunsetted, as Seamus said. And I'll tell you guys this. Like, you asked me specifically, what do I think is happening with Xbox? I actually wrote an article about this that's going live. By the time you guys are listening, for you guys listening after the fact, it will be live already. I said the best thing for Xbox to do is to do what Sega did. Embrace being a third-party developer. And I know you
didn't I say that when they bought Activision?
And if you
There you go.
and if you think that's crazy, think about
Oh
this.
hell no, that's not crazy. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but dude, think about it. Who was the biggest third-party publisher last year? It was Microsoft, because they own every fucking studio.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're
That's
already
what
there.
I was exactly thinking too. Is like they're just going to branch off all indie.
Remember, we got
developers,
into
no
a
more Microsoft
conversation
gaming.
about that, kind of in agreement that like it makes sense. I think I was on the consensus that like it makes sense that that's their natural progression in direction. But I'm still like a hardcore gamer where I want them to be around, and I do want to see a new console. But I totally understand. I do.
The brand is going to be
where
around.
the direction is.
The brand is going to be around, just like Sega's still around.
Right. Exactly. I think that's a perfect example that you base them off, is like kind of like Sega. They're still around. They've still got all their great characters and games coming out. It's just they're not their old presence when they don't have a console anymore. You know, but
So
also miss old school Sega too. Then, but
Genesis
was dope.
It was so good.
It was
good.
old now. So I'll bump it over to you after this. The last point is like, it could. If Microsoft focus, because we've had so much messaging from them. We're a console maker. We're a third-party developer. We're this, that, the other thing. If they focus, we are just making great games. Cut down on the amount of titles. Stop filling a Game Pass with a bunch of slop. I think you could actually have a good turnaround here. And I'll say this about Asha. I don't know, her as a person or whatever, but if she has a good sense, she could be like, hey, this doesn't work. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And maybe just make it nice, lean and mean. And I think, even if it's not called Xbox, we could have something that's special, but I don't think that, even if the name Xbox goes away, we'll still have Halos and Forzas and stuff.
You can still make Microsoft a competitor.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, if you look at what Asha's resume is, going all the way back to when she's 17, she has incredible business acumen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like, you cannot deny what she has done at some of the companies, like, that she's been at, like Porsche and stuff. It just, I think to your point. So, Arielle, where do you see Xbox going?
Tiny bit of a tangent. Hold on, I need chapstick for this. I'm about to go in on them.
Okay?
There he is.
Hold on, let me go pop a bag of popcorn.
I might need.
I thought you were. I don't know why I thought you just said, "Let me go pop my back first."
Well, at this age, I'm 3 years shy of 50. Might as well.
Let me stretch for this. Let me stretch.
Stretching for the statement. Okay. No, I think with Highguard, with Concord, with all these different games that are coming out, God, people are gonna fucking hate me for saying this, but it's not okay to be complacent and make crappy games right now when we have so much technology.
Oh, you mean like
at our
Madden?
fingertips? Every single fucking sports game is literally the same thing. I get it for hardcore sports fans who want something like that, but Jesus Christ, at least make the hoops a different color. God, it's one of those moments where it's just like, I get that sports is a huge thing. It's probably like Tony and I were talking about the last time we were here. We are a very small, as content creators, as people who work in the industry, we are a very small portion, and mostly on people's PS5s, Xboxes, PCs, whatever, console you have, are mostly going to be sports games. It's going to be Skyrim, it's going to be Halo, and it's going to be shooting or fighting games. Like, it's not going to be like the Bloodborne, the Elden Ring. That's not the majority of what consumers want, unless you go very, very niche. So my thing is that companies can't be complacent with things all the time. They need, especially with the technology. Unreal Engine 5 is a masterpiece. Like the amount that you can do right now, I feel like the full potential of Unreal hasn't even been tapped yet at this point. And it probably won't for a good decade or so yet before the next Unreal comes out. So it's one of those moments of where it's like in the gaming industry now, we have grown such a large amount in such a short amount of time. I mean, this only started in the 70s. So to have grown this far in what, only 50 years? Like this much? That's incredible. And the fact that it's being taken advantage of with Xbox being told like, oh, you know what? You're the AI company now. Oh. You're not going to be the Xbox. You're going to be the AI company. You are going to be the company that panders to every little thing because that's what we told you to do. If you want to get paid, if you want to do what you're supposed to do, you're the AI company. And that's the thing. When I started playing Xbox, it was 10 years ago when I graduated from college. I feel fucking old right now just saying that.
You just made me and Matt feel older.
I'm gonna say you made all of us feel
because
old.
I can remember right after, right before, was it right after 9/11? Like when Halo came out, right? And we with the Duke, that big ass paperweight of a controller. God. I remember LAN parties, everybody bringing over their Xboxes and like seeing all the different like special editions that we all had. Like I had the Master Chief, the translucent green one, and like all set them up for LAN parties. Everyone bringing over big old TVs and
God. First of all, for all of you listening and watching the newer generation, you don't know what it was like.
Translucent controllers were the shit.
LAN parties, you actually had to
parties.
Things together.
And you know what? That was the other beauty thing about LAN parties, dude. Like you were still playing video games, but you had to like coordinate and figure out whose house. And it was with people, right, Tony?
Whose house?
It was still, that was the best thing. Getting the whole figuring out the whole setup. Like, hey,
bringing over the
connected? All right, let's go.
Who's bringing the backup generator?
Those are the dude. Yeah, those are the best, dude.
The thing also is like I'm not, and I just want to say this for clarification. I'm not shitting on Highguard or Concord. Those teams absolutely worked their asses off when they were developing those games, and I'm not taking that away at all. But it's the fact of where there is a moment in time where you say this business model of the constant battle pass, the constant like doing the live service bullshit, it doesn't work on a lot of people. And trying to recreate Fortnite is just going to lead you into a pit of despair because you can never be Fortnite. You can never be Call of Duty. You can like Call of Duty's best one was the remake of Madden. Not Madden. I'm sorry. What was the
Modern
remake
Warfare?
of
Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
That was the first proper Call of Duty game that I played and reviewed, and it was incredible. The story, amazing. The graphics, the cutscenes, it was incredible. It was like Diablo level shit, and I absolutely fell in love with it. But the fact that so many people are trying to copy so much of it and trying to get so much money that way, again, I don't know if it's pure monetary reasons that they're doing it. I think they're trying to find the formula that works best either for the company or they're like, wow, this worked. Let's try to replicate that.
Well, I know. I think you're hitting it on the head because, Arielle, remember, like, let's look at Black Ops 3, right?
Yeah.
That was a great game and everything. Yeah. And then Fortnite took off. And then what did they do? They went to Call of Duty 4 or Black Ops 4, rather, which was all just Battle Royale. They got rid of the campaign. They just went Battle Royale. That's it.
I would argue Black Ops 2 was better than Black Ops 3, but I digress.
And I just have one more point to make about Xbox, and then I will, pass the torch along. But with Xbox as a whole right now, with, one of their final consoles coming out, whether it's a collaboration or whether or not they're just going to, I don't know, do something like a simplified version of the Xbox fridge, we don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I don't know exactly where they're going to go with it, because at the end of the day, this is a tech company now. It's no longer a game company, and that's I think it's the part where people will have to swallow.
I would argue they're a subscription company
as well.
Also,
as well. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But also the thing is like I think what people are, because I saw this post on Blue Sky before of where people like, I miss the days of where Xbox was about game. It's like, no, you miss the like accoutrements. You miss like the things attached to the things. You miss the controllers. You missed
Yeah.
the see-through controllers. You miss all of those kinds of things that were reminiscent of what your childhood was. You miss the nostalgia, not the company, because you're not, no person can be attached to a company. That's ridiculous. So
And look at these
it's like,
fanboys on Twitter. They're attached as fuck.
I mean, I feel like
Damn,
I feel
people
like
are
the people that
dying.
can get attached to AI personalities would argue about getting
Yeah.
attached
And
to
I
a
think
company.
it's, and you talk about
Act-
getting attached to the companies, right? Is like somebody made a post showing it was that infamous shot where it was Sean, Phil, and Reggie, all
Yeah.
on stage together, like the
Classic.
golden era, that classic golden era, right? And they made a comment on it and said, right now it's like PlayStation's making missteps and having to recorrect, and they're unfortunately closing Blue Sky or Blue Point. You've got Nintendo, I think, and this is where it's gotten me a little bit of heat, but they don't understand the referencing, is that they're kind of in a Wii U situation right now in terms of not from a sales perspective, but when you look at it, the Wii U, right? It Nobody knew that everyone thought it was an accessory to the Wii. That's why the Wii U didn't really sell. But like right now is you don't have a lot of first party titles that aren't ports from the
Mm.
Switch
True.
on the Switch 2, right? You only really have Donkey Kong and Mario Kart. That's it. So you don't have the conversions happening from the Switch to the Switch 2 that you normally would have seen with a Nintendo console. Everybody would always get the next one at launch,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you went N64, GameCube to Wii. And then all of a sudden, Wii U, nobody knew what to do with it. Then you got the Switch. Now the Switch 2, granted, yes, it has sold like gangbusters, and now it's the fastest selling, console. But part of that problem is that if you go to a store, and this is my other argument, is you go to a store, you look at the Switch OLED at $400, you look at the Switch 2 at 450 because they've raised the prices on all the older Switches.
Thank you, AI.
Which one are you
Yeah.
which one are you going to do? Well, part of it was the tariffs though, because
Yeah.
Nintendo didn't want to eat all the tariffs, so they're like, "Hey, we're going to eat them on the Switch too, but we're going to pass along everything on the Switch." They raised it up. So for me as a consumer, if I'm looking at two, do I want the latest greatest for $50 more, or do I want to go with something older? I'm going to go with $50 more,
Yeah.
you know. So I think
also,
it's just
Nintendo is very smart what they're doing right now. They're redoing Leaf Green, Fire Red. They're redoing
yeah.
the classics. You have a subscription service that you could pay $3.99 a month for and get literally all the. Oh, you can get Wind Waker. That was my first Zelda game, by the way. Just putting that out there. It's
Nice.
one of the best moves.
That just made you young, just to tell you that.
That's actually.
If that was your first
favorite
Zelda
second
game.
favorite Zelda of all time. Just saying.
Yep.
It's very good, and that's the thing too. For Nintendo as a business, I mean, like they're kind of like the Team Switzerland. They're just like I don't want trouble. I'm just over here doing my own shit. Okay.
Yeah.
But when it
Nintendo
comes
will
down
never
to
do
it,
wrong.
they are they are a very good business team. They know what actually drives customers, not pushes them away. Xbox is pushing
Correct.
their people away with higher prices, with making a very unfriendly consumer model, I want to say, because everything is aimed towards AI. It's not aimed towards the consumer. Put out remasters of Halo, put out remasters of Gears of War Limited Edition. Then you are going to have people clamoring. Make sure that all of your stuff, while it's going to other consoles, you don't need to have exclusive. You don't need to have all that bullshit. Just make sure that everything runs correctly. That if you have a disc of, like, let's say Blood Rain, which I tried to run on my Xbox, I couldn't. Even though it was backwards compatible on my Xbox. You can't run it.
Yep.
So they need to be more consumer friendly. That is their greatest downfall right now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean,
I actually
Nintendo,
slightly
you can't-
disagree because I'm in the boat that I am so freaking sick of remakes. I feel like remakes is in lines with
Lazy.
being lazy with doing lazy AI because you're not creating anything. You're
But
just
you are
reusing
giving
what's being
accessibility
created.
to those who could not have it with the original game. That's the thing.
But is that going to push forward a company in a creative
Absolutely.
fashion?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think in some
Absolutely.
ways though, you're giving
Yeah.
people access to games that never had, like to Ariel's point, like some of the games that they're remaking, like they still won't give us Legend of Dragoon, but you know, but like some
Theo
of
is
the
just shaking his head in disapproval.
that's
He's
like the
heard it too
running
many
that's like the
times.
running joke,
I
right?
think our
It's
listeners
like,
can hear my brain move around while I shake my head on this.
Jostle, jostle.
I think from a remake perspective, like it comes a point where it's excessive, like Last of Us, right? They just keep
Oh, no,
remaking
please,
it,
God, no
remastering
more.
it, right?
No
Until
Yeah.
dawn.
The Last of
Until
Us
dawn.
remake part
Until
27.
dawn.
You
Yeah,
had
there
to
you go,
bring
dude.
up Last of Us.
Until
I love
dawn.
Last of Us.
I
It's one of my
think-
favorite games.
You want
Why?
Until dawn?
I think
that's
it's
been
worth
Yeah.
having some of these
Horizon?
older. We didn't need a Horizon remaster.
We did not.
Now,
And
granted-
you know what? The thing is, we need a remake of Silent Hill 1. That's what we need a remake of.
Like, I'm perfectly happy with the remastering we got for the Mass Effect trilogy because it was gorgeous. Even like you look at the Uncharted, right, with the Nathan Drake trilogy and that getting a remaster by Blue Point. And that game looked it looked great for its age and everything. But I think there's some of the older games, like if you could say, Jerry, you can have or Theo, what about a remake of Jack and Dexter?
Yeah.
See, but I mean, like,
or Conker's Bad Day.
yeah.
Okay, I would agree with Conker's Bad Day because I've never played it, and
Oh my God.
Neither
I
have
feel
I.
like it'd
One
be
of my friends
hilarious because I've watched it on
Corrupted me with
YouTube.
it.
Jack and
Yeah,
Daxter.
I mean, that would just be hilarious. But as well as I know that would never happen because of how our society is now with
That game would get canceled right now.
Yeah, it get canceled
That
so
is
quickly. And I
Nintendo's
mean, like,
absurd love child. Okay.
fair.
But the thing is that but I think I'm going to take like a hard stance of like I am pro remake because it provides accessibility in the games for people who cannot
Yes.
play the originals. It also gives a new lens for new people who want to play it, who never got the chance to, don't have the consoles to, or just don't have the ability to play it on the older consoles. I was lucky enough to be able to learn how to mod on my PC to be able to play Silent Hill 1, and I fell in love with it. But the thing is like, there's only one exception to my love of all remakes is Resident Evil 1. That game does not need a remake. It's literally on every single platform right now. Steam, PS5, Xbox, Nintendo, the Wii, everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
So
I would
it
get on
doesn't-
board with you
yeah.
about like modifying the operating systems for playing these games to mod to just have everything accessible, not necessarily remake everything so that way that you have to repurchase everything, but just make it to where that you can just play everything.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, like, even with
All right.
Resident Evil 1 remake, they should put in more accessibility. That way it's more
Oh yeah.
friendly to people who are like hard of hearing and seeing and everything. So, I mean, there are certain things that they could make different to improve for people who have disabilities. But I think
Right.
that's as far as they should go with the first remake. And I know for a fact, because like Resident Evil 9 is about to come out. We all know like it's going to be absolute chaos when that happens. And I made a prediction to one of another freelancer at IGN that Resident Evil 9 is going to come out. Then we're going to have a remake of 1, Code Veronica, and then the final game 10. That's my prediction.
That's not a
Code
bad
Veronica.
prediction. I don't.
Give me a remaster
Sir.
of Code Veronica.
Yeah, that's the
Right?
rumors I'm hearing as well. By
Unless
the way,
they take
Yeah.
unless they take a page out of the newly announced remake of the God of War trilogy and do a remake trilogy
That
for Resident
could work.
Evil, but
Yeah.
yeah, here's the thing about remakes. I'm
But that's a good prediction. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah, I'm begrudgingly
so.
for them because if you don't have remakes, then you're not going to get games because games take 5-6 years to make. That why do you think we're getting so many remakes? We're getting
am I the only anti-remake person in here right now?
By the way,
I'm anti-remake.
By the way,
Okay,
I said
So
I begrudgingly
I mean,
for them. I'm begrudgingly for them. I would rather not have them, but this is the world we live in now because development cycles.
I'm kind of in the same boat, although I am kind of for them because there are a few titles that I do want to come back. So I'm kind of on a little bit of both, but I'm kind of on.
Because the thing is like remakes, I will say, are based on nostalgia. It's not based on, anything like where it needs it, because the originals are just as good as if you were to get a remake.
If not better.
Yeah, because I mean, like, let's say, for example, Blood Rain. Like, they did a tech remake of that to improve the controls. That's what a remake should be for them. That's just a remaster on there and to improve graphics, stability of the game running. They should do a legitimate one for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 1, which there was a fan patch for. Probably would have, I don't think they should have posted 2. That's just my opinion. That was terrible. It was so unfortunate because it took 10 years to make, and they should not have switched companies around that much. But I already did an entire review on Skybox on that game, which is already out.
So Arielle, you may hate me for saying this, but because I'm on anti-remake, anytime that I'm thinking about remakes, the primary thing that comes to my mind is the scene from Back to the Future 2 at the arcade game with the children experiencing essentially I'll go through with a remake or a remaster or whatever, but I mean, like, handling a gun and calling it a baby's toy. That's what comes to mind when I see remakes. Just saying.
Hilarious,
so that was the actual cabinet too.
That hurts.
Yes,
that does hurt a little bit.
So real quick, because we could keep going as we always can when it's the 6 of us all together, but
we could go for another 4 hours.
We're already, we could. So real quick, Tony and Arielle, this is that hot take moment.
Okay.
We always seem to have with you guys.
We haven't had any so far.
We haven't had any single hot takes.
Right? We've just been so calm and
agreeable
collective, Matt.
How many years do you think before Xbox just is either A, sunset completely and gone, or they've moved strictly to publishing?
4.
5 years.
Ooh, that's pretty close.
5 years.
Yeah, we're in the same boat.
Yeah, that's pretty close on both. Yeah.
I give them 5 years, and in this time already, I guarantee you right now, they've already thought about sunsetting, because they would not be pulling the moves that they're doing unless they were thinking about that.
Yeah, exactly. What is Microsoft at the end of the day, right? They're a software company. So make this software
services.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree. 4 to 5 years. But here's the thing, it's not going to be gone forever. It's going to change.
It'll be rebranded.
Yeah.
I mean, no one talks about the Dreamcast anymore. It's going to be the same with Microsoft if they keep pulling the
I talk about the Dreamcast.
That was ahead of its time.
That's one reason why.
Hey, listen, it had Sweet Home on it. That's all I need.
I played
Power Stone.
I played Star Lancer.
Power Stone 1 and 2, baby.
Bro, if you think about it, the
Those are my
Dreamcast
favorite.
was the first Xbox. A lot of was in that system eventually went
That's
into the Xbox.
Yeah.
That is a good comparison. Yeah, that is very true.
And they made the same mistakes that they did with the Xbox One.
They really did, didn't they? Oh boy! By the way, since we're talking about college and all that, that was my first system, the Dreamcast that I bought with my own money, because I had system, but my parents bought it for me. The first system I bought with my own money was the Dreamcast 99.99. Right? I skipped school that day. I was like, fuck that.
That's dope.
I had been like I pre-ordered it. I've been putting money down every week.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So when
mine was PS1.
Ooh, my man.
Mine was the Animal Crossing Switch version a few years ago.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, mine. I have to say, mine was probably
the first one to purchase.
Yeah, I guess. Yep. I think PS1.
My parents had bought the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, and the first one I actually paid money out of my own pocket for was the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, for me, it was either PS1 or 64. It was one of those
Alien
two.
Trilogy was my first game that I bought.
Great game.
Oh, dope.
All right. So with that,
Oh wait, no, actually, I misremembered. It was a Switch Lite. It wasn't the Animal Crossing Switch Lite that I got. That feels like a fever dream that came
I'm
out.
actually
so
kind
long
of
ago.
surprised
Well-
that was the first console that you
Yeah.
bought yourself. I would imagine you already owned a PlayStation at the time, and that's why you had to get a
It was
Switch.
given to me as a birthday present, the PlayStation
Yes.
4, and that was
Okay.
the first time I ever played on a Sony console.
Yeah.
So-
Oh.
anyways, with that, because I know Ariel, we're already running over the time. You said you had to go, but as always, I digress. Anyways,
Probably penciled in some extra time because she knew it was going to happen.
for
I knew. No,
right,
I knew.
we always do. We always do.
Yeah. No, you
But-
guys got me at a good day because usually I would have been gone like 15 minutes ago, but I don't have to get up early more. I'm working from home more. I'm fucking stuck.
Don't go anywhere. Anyway,
Nice.
so those people that jumped on in, were watching in the background and whatnot. Thank you for crashing game night with us tonight. If it's your first time joining us, thank you for giving us a chance tonight. Giving you hopefully give you some laughs and whatnot, which are much needed around these parts these days. If you like what you heard, make sure to drop us a follow here on Twitch. Head on over to crashinggamenight.com. Follow us on the platform of your choice. Also, we have a contributors and guest page with profiles loaded for both Ariel and Tony. So if you want to check out their past episodes, which half the time they're both on them anyways,
Just going off.
look up their,
Dynamic duo.
go look up their profiles. They also have links to their socials as well as Tony's show on there for a Throwdown show.
Yay.
And Ariel's YouTube channel. But with that though, as always, guys, with everything that's kind of going on in the world right now, everybody is feeling heavy. Like I talked about at the beginning of the show, my buddy's going through cancer. I'm having to deal with stuff with my heart right now. So you don't know what some people are going through right now. So please just be excellent to each other.
That's right. Ariel,
on.
Tony, thank you guys so much for joining. Of course, we miss you guys all the time, and thank you for coming. Let's not make it a longer time period in between. Let's get you guys on again because like I said, we missed you guys, and we always love it when you're on.
Thank you.
Once
I always
again, we
enjoy
want to
being here with you guys.
Yeah, no, it's
thank you
I
guys.
always feel welcome, man. I always love hanging out.
Good,
And you
good.
guys have an open invite. You know
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
always.
true, yeah.
Whenever you
We're
guys
just
want.
either busy or tired or half dead already.
Oh my god, I feel that in my
It was
soul.
like
That's
my
me.
everyday.
Once again, we want to send out that same message out there. As Matt said, it's kind of crazy out there right now. Everyone is voicing their opinions, and rightfully so. That's their right. But let's all just be respectful of one another, and let's be safe. And continue trying to be a little bit more open-minded, a little bit more open to getting to know one another and knowing each other's story. Let's just all try to do and be better out there, and just try and be safe and kind to one another. Let's just spread the love, as it were, and be safe. J-Rock, J-Bone with that glorious beard. I'm gonna say it every time.
Hey, it's hiding today. It's hiding.
It's hiding.
okay.
Yeah, it's in the background. It's ninja. Love it.
Anyways,
Thanks,
guys,
man.
congratulations on making it to month 2 of 2026. By the time you guys hear this, hopefully-
Practically,
We gotta- hold
the
on.
third month.
Hey, Jerry, we got to wish you
Yeah.
a happy birthday coming in a couple
Oh, an
of
early
days.
birthday.
Oh gosh. Thank you.
Both
And a belated birthday to
Thank you. And a belated birthday to Matt. Yes.
Happy belated.
Happy belated,
early.
Matt. Happy early, Jason.
Jay.
Oh, it's Jerry.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're all celebrating birthday. My birthday
Jason's-
was last week, bro.
Yep.
We're all celebrating birthday.
We're all
bro.
celebrating.
It's everybody's birthday right now, you know?
Yeah.
You get a birthday. You get a birthday. Everybody gets
Everyone gets a birthday.
We're all old. We've had plenty of them.
Winter babies.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know we did miss last week, guys. Sorry, it's okay. But happy belated Lunar New Year to all of you guys out there as well.
You're the horse.
Yep, you're the horses now. I don't really have that much because hopefully you're keeping up with whatever quote unquote resolution you have in your own. It is now Lent, so hopefully you gave up your resolution. So who knows? It is all interesting. It is 2026. Who knows what's going to happen? We have AI right around the corner, as you guys have been talking all day about. Now we got more remakes. Who knows? But anyways, my favorite time of the night. My man, my boy, who's also an anti-remaker. Please, Dale, send us out like you do.
Because that's the most important thing here.
Oh, yeah.
I am just gonna say that I'm a little angry with Arielle because now I'm going to picture your face every time I think of angry puppies.
Yes,
just because of you.
This is my legacy.
All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Till next time, TTFN. That's for now.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.